lovely sleep. So today's episode is designed all for when you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with life. Maybe you have a huge to-do list on today, maybe you just don't even know where to start with today, I don't know, but you're feeling a bit overwhelmed. So hopefully today's episode will give you a little bit of motivation and energy to get you started. I was going to try and incorporate some tough love into this, but I'm not sure I'm very good at tough love, so we'll see how this goes. But now that you're hopefully feeling a little bit more awake, I just wanted to give you a quick reminder that I put new episodes out every single week. So if you don't want to miss out, you can subscribe to my YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts, and you can follow me on Instagram as well. It's the Great Morning Podcast. Cool, so as always, we will start with our gratitude. I will give you some time now to have a think about yours. I should say, if anyone's new here, if you've somehow miraculously found me on YouTube and this is the first episode you're watching, every single week we spend the first couple minutes of the podcast going through some gratitude and what we're feeling grateful for today. So during this time, you just have to think of 3 things that you're grateful for about yourself, or things that you're looking forward to, or anything like that. And I'll be writing mine down in here, and you can write yours down in whatever notebook you have handy. So yeah. Hopefully you've got your 3 things written down and you're feeling super grateful. I will just share mine first of all. So today for me, shouldn't have put this down. Anyway, today for me, I wrote down that I'm really grateful that daylight savings was last week. That was a very nice surprise. I kind of forgot that was happening, but it was very nice to have that extra hour's sleep. I ended up getting up early on Sunday to meet a friend, but it was nice to, have the extra hour's sleep to make it a normal night's sleep anyway, and I was very much in need of extra sleep. I'm also, although I'm not so grateful that it is getting darker in the mornings, I am grateful that I can still work out while the sun's rising. I don't know, I have a thing where I don't like working out while it's still dark. Like, I just feel like I don't get any energy when I'm working out while it's still dark, but I do like working out when it starts off dark and then the sun's rising as you're working out, and then you kind of like feed off the energy that the sun's giving you, and it looks really pretty outside. So that's what I really like working out anyway. And recently I have been very social. I've been getting out and about. I feel like even though Omicron is obviously still rampant around Auckland, it just feels like there's a little bit less, I guess, stigma around it, and you can kind of get out with friends and people were like, a little bit more relaxed, and kind of the attitude that if you get it, it won't be so bad. And I know I am very fortunate that I don't have any health problems or anything that would make me more vulnerable if I got it. Like, I would in theory be okay, so I am grateful for that as well. So I guess that's 4 things. So hopefully you have your 3 things as well and you're feeling grateful and happy, and that is a really great way to start your morning when you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed, because it kind of grounds you back into the present moment and you can feel a bit more relaxed and remind yourself of all the good things that are happening in your life and the things that you're looking forward to. So once you have finished listening to this episode, or even as you're listening to this episode, I want you to go and stand in the mirror and give yourself a high five. I did a whole episode on this a couple back, so if you want to know the whole theory behind it, I would recommend going to listen to the whole thing, or you can read Mel Robbins' book, The High Five Habit. But even just looking at yourself in the mirror, reminding yourself that you're going to smash your goals today and giving yourself a high five does does so much mentally for you. I don't know what it is, but it's just, yeah, it's really fun. You look a bit stupid, but it does really work. So I would really recommend that's the first thing you do when you get out of bed this morning. Just go into the mirror, give yourself a high five and a little bit of a pep talk if you're feeling up for it. The next thing is that I will remind you that how you spend the rest of your morning will set the tone for your day. So you have a big day today, you have a lot on and you're gonna feel stressed, but I feel like if I spend my whole morning like rushing around and like trying to fit a bunch of things in, I don't know, there's something about it that just makes me more tired and less motivated. I feel like I can't do rushed mornings. I need like an extra half an hour or so. So I would say, I mean, maybe you didn't wake up early enough this morning, but I would say to take a deep breath, you know, things like writing in your gratitude journal or like not scrolling on your phone while you're eating breakfast, and like taking the time to kind of enjoy all the parts of your morning routine and just kind of breathe, ground yourself, will help to kind of overcome some of the anxiety or like overwhelming feelings that you are feeling today. I'm really hoping that the sun is not going to set any lower because it's going to ruin the lighting for my video, but we will just keep going anyway. So the next thing is, you probably have already done this, but the next thing is to write yourself a good to-do list that has everything on it, and I would include things like doing your gratitude. You can tick that off immediately, you've done that now. High-fiving yourself in the mirror, tick that off, you're about to go and do that when you finish this episode. Do all your morning routine things too. There's something so motivating about ticking things off a to-do list, like even when you've already done them, and just, you know, keep the momentum going. I feel like it's a good thing to do. Things that you kind of know you definitely do today and won't be such a big deal, just write them on there too, you know, tick them off. I mean, I guess there's a point where you'd have too many things on your to-do list, but you know, don't go crazy anyway. So write out your to-do list, and then you should be able to see what is your priority for today. You know, is it that big test you've got and you want to put in an hour's study for it, or you've got a presentation on at work and you need to put aside some time to do a practice run through, or maybe you have a meeting and you know that's going to happen from 3 to 5, so obviously you can't do anything else between those hours. Put out your priorities. And then you'll start to see, okay, there's this other assignment that I've got due, isn't due for another week, so maybe I don't need to work on it today. Like, I have a tendency to kind of look too far into the future and have a freak out. I'm like, oh my gosh, my dissertation is like 15,000 words and it's due, but it's like due in a year. So yes, I shouldn't procrastinate it, but I shouldn't stress about it right now either. So writing out your to-do list is a really good way to work out what your priorities are for today because you're feeling so overwhelmed. And then those little jobs that can wait until tomorrow, wait until tomorrow. Obviously don't procrastinate. If it's something that you've been putting off for weeks and weeks, maybe do it today, but you know, there's a balance, right? The other thing I will say is, I read something online that was like, if it takes less than 5 minutes, just do it immediately. And I would definitely say this, like obviously that's not always practical, and sometimes it can be a little bit silly when you're working on a task and then you suddenly think of something you have to do and you just have to go and do it. But it actually is a really good way of stopping procrastinating. Things like your desk. My desk this morning was a mess. Like my desk has been a mess for weeks, to be fair. And this morning I like came in, and instead of like sitting down, like opening my laptop and kind of like shuffling, you know, moving the papers and putting my laptop in the middle to try and start working, it's like, had enough, need to tidy it. So I tidied my desk this morning and it took like 2 seconds, you know, you guys just put all the papers I don't need in the bin, the rest go underneath in the little shelf and whatnot. But it just made my mind so much clearer and I just felt so much better. So if you have a little job like that, whether it's a cleaning job, you know, cleaning up your dishes from last night, or putting a load of washing on, or you know, cleaning your desk, then those little things can help. You know, you'd get to tick something else off your to-do list. They don't take very long and it kind of gets that momentum going as well. And yeah, hopefully doing those little tasks won't take up so much time as well. Final thing quickly, because the sun is setting very fast, is to hold yourself accountable. So if you have a big project due today, and you know, maybe it's something you do with a friend, like you're both doing the same course or the same job, jump on, like, work on it together. So I don't know, if you're isolating or you can't get to the same place, just jump on Zoom and like work on it together. It's actually so motivating when you're just like watching someone else study or work and you're like, oh, now I have to, and you can't just like yarn. I mean, I'm quite bad at just talking too much when I'm studying with other people, but try not to do that, and then hopefully you'll both get lots of things done. You can also, you know, if you can't get to your friends or whatever, even just going to like a library or like a shared workspace can be quite helpful, because you can like see everyone else working and then you can't talk because you're in a library. So hopefully that kind of, you know, keeps your momentum going as well. Yeah, I think I'm always a little bit more self-conscious of like when I'm on my phone, when I'm in a library, because I can't, you know, yeah, everyone's like judging you because you should be working, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, you can use your friends to hold yourself accountable and give you some extra motivation as well. And yeah, and hopefully that helps you get a little bit more done today, so you can tick a few things off your to-do list. And remember that you have these things on your to-do list because you've signed up for them. They're part of the courses you're taking, and if you've got that far into your working career or uni life or wherever you are, then you are more than capable of finishing them. You've done the hardest part, and the hardest part is starting. And once you've started, you're so easily gonna finish. It seems overwhelming right now, but I promise you will get there. You will smash out your goals for today. And hopefully listening to this has relaxed you a little bit, reminded you to take a moment for yourself, do your gratitude, but also keep you accountable and get things going. So hopefully you are now feeling awake and happy, ready to start your day and smash all your to-do list. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to wherever you listen to your podcasts. And you can follow me on Instagram at Great Morning Podcast. Now it's time to put a smile on your dial and have a great